and welcome back to another Wedding Wednesday. My name is Jane Corley with Pic Visions, Media Arts and Photography. If it's your first time here, welcome! Make sure to like this video if you learned something new, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you can be notified every time a new video is uploaded every week. In today's episode, we're going to talk about bridal attire, bridal tips, and different styles of bridal gowns. If you haven't seen my last two episodes with guest attire and groom's attire, make sure to catch up on those on my channel. So let's get started on bridal attire. First and foremost, let's talk about fittings. Here are 6 suggestions about how to have a successful search for your future wedding gown. My first tip is leave your entourage at home. If you have to bring somebody with you, bring 1 or 2 people and keep it down to a minimum. Have somebody taking some pictures and taking some notes. Once you first get started with your wedding dress journey, it's going to be a lot. If you can limit the amount of people that are with you, it's going to be a much smoother experience. If you want to hang out with your bridesmaids on the same day that you look at your dress, just meet them for lunch with pictures and notes, and only take your maid of honor or your, one of your other friends, or just don't crowd the boutique with like 10 people. It's not going to be a successful trip. It's going to be a lot of voices at you all at once. Sometimes having one person there will give you the most honest, upfront opinion about what you need to change, how everything looks. We are just getting the facts. Once you start really narrowing down your choices and you go for your last look, then maybe bring your mom and your aunts and all your bridal party, because all you're doing is putting on maybe this one or this one, and they can help you decide, and it's part of the big event. You're going to go and look at dresses multiple times, so if you can bring 1 or 2 people each time and not bring your whole entire entourage, it will work out better for everyone involved, including your stylist at the bridal shop. My next tip, number 2, is make an appointment. Not optional, ladies. Make an appointment. If you have a local bridal store in your area, or if you live in a small town, this may be a little different, but I think you need to call ahead. That way you can have someone designated to take care of you, and you won't be pulling things off the rack or having to wait for somebody to be ready for you. If they know you're coming, it will be a much more successful process, I promise. Also, if you can make appointments for the first couple times you go and look at a dress for the weekdays, you will also be more successful. This is because usually the people who are selling dresses on the weekends, you're not going to be their only bride that they're going to be taking care of. If you go on like a Wednesday at 6 o'clock, you're going to have 1 employee dealing with 1 bride, and you're going to have their full attention, rather than on a Saturday or a Sunday where you're going to have an employee who has 3 brides or 2 brides and a gaggle of bridesmaids to deal with. So if you can go during the week to narrow down your choices, and then maybe during the weekend you can take your people to go see your final choices and get it all done during that time. But if you make an appointment during the week in the afternoon hours, maybe right around when they close, you'll have more success getting undivided attention from the employees. My next tip, number 3, is to do your research before you go. I had never shopped for a wedding dress before, so I didn't really know what I was looking for. And I don't really wear dresses like wedding dresses very often. I am more of like a t-shirt and jeans kind of girl, but I had to do my research. So with my body type, with my weight, with all of my hair, and just the look that I wanted, I had a number of things that I already knew I wanted. I knew I wanted lace on my wedding dress. I knew I wanted a corset back. I knew I wanted some beading embellishments, and I know I did not want satin. That was research. So with my body type, I went and looked, and we'll talk about body type a little bit later on in this video, but body type is going to give you some suggestions for sort of where to start. But in all honesty, ladies, I went in there the first 2 times and told the lady that was helping me at the bridal store, I have no idea what I'm doing. I want to try a version of everything on, and I'm not going to buy anything today because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I need 1 of each type of dress in my size. Let's do this. My next tip is to be open to suggestions. What you think you look good in will probably also be what other people think you look good in, but if people can see things from the outside and give you suggestions that, well, maybe a drop waist would look better on you, or maybe a sweetheart neckline, or what about cap sleeves, or let's try a short dress on because that's the way your frame is complemented. Having suggestions and not being stubborn and being open to new ideas will have a more successful time shopping for your bridal gown. If you can afford to make multiple visits to a bridal shop to really get some ideas down, then you can really just narrow down the shape, the style, the textures, the tones that you want in your gown during the first 1 or 2 visits. And then on your third visit, you can jump right in and say, I want an A-line dress and I want it to be satin, not lace. I want it to have some beading, I want some ruching, and I want a sweetheart neckline. What do you got? And they will be able to pull 4 or 5 dresses off of the rack, and you will have a more determined idea about where to go from there. And you'll begin to narrow down all of the ideas for your bridal gown. My next tip, y'all, and this is so important, number 5, is have a budget and stick to it. If your budget is $750 for your dress, which is kind of on the low end, I'm sorry, it's kind of on the low end. If your budget is $750, do not try on dresses that are $1,500. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will be disappointed. You will be disappointed because you will find something that you absolutely love and then look at the price tag and you can't have it because then you're going to have to not invite like 20 more people to your wedding. Think of your budget for your gown and stick to it. Tell the employee at the dress boutique that you don't want to see anything with a price tag over your budget. They will try to push you to say, oh, well, you can spend another $250, $300, $500. Don't you just love it? I don't love it because the price tag is too high. Thank you for playing with my emotions. So, stay in your budget. My next tip, and this one kind of almost made me cry, ladies, when I first started dress shopping, but do not be offended with sizes. Don't do it. It is a cruel, cruel world that whoever is managing the bridal world is playing. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand what their motive behind this is, but it's cruel. If you are a size 6 in the normal everyday world, you are now a size 8 or even a size 10 in the bridal world. How much does that suck? So just cry about it. You know you're a size 6. You know you're a size 8 or a size 10. So if they start pulling out 14s and 16s and calling you plus size, just be like, whatever. You can have a cry about it in the car. One cry, ladies. That's all you're allowed. One cry. After that, you need to just be happy that you're going to be in something that makes you look good. Because if you're a size 6 in the normal world and you try to put on a size 6 wedding dress, you're going to look like a sausage, encasing, bulging out all over the place. So the sooner that you can just, yes, it sucks, I'm very unhappy about it, but really you and your stylist are the only ones that are going to see that tag. So this also brings me to my next suggestion within the same size realm. If you are planning on losing weight for your wedding, awesome. That's really great. If you're planning on gaining weight for your wedding because you're stick thin and you want a few more curves, that's great. But do not buy your wedding dress because you think you're going to drop 50 pounds. Do not buy your wedding dress because, oh, well, I'm going to get that beach body back by the time that this rolls around. If you're planning on losing weight for your wedding, don't make it more than 10 or 15 pounds and one size jump, because if you don't meet those size goals, you're now going to be paying extra for alterations and you're really just going to be miserable. And it's going to add a lot more stress that you really don't need at the end of your engagement period, right before your wedding. The last thing that you want to do is starve yourself a month before your wedding because you can't fit in your dress. So Just be conscious about weight loss as well as size realizations in the wedding world. So we'll move into the next stage of the video, which is dress types. I'm not going to go over a lot of details about these dress types because I want to move on to the final portion of this video, but just so you can do your research on what the bridal world calls their dress types, you have five broad stroke dress types to choose from. The first one is going to be ball gown. Ball gown, big puffy, tight corset up top, you look like a princess. Second is going to be fit and flare. It's going to fit your body and then flare at the bottom. Next, number 3 is going to be mermaid or trumpet, which is going to fit probably down past your butt and then right about mid-thigh down to the knees, somewhere within there it's going to flare like a mermaid or a trumpet. Next is A-line. A-line just shaped like the letter A, but it's got a dividing line right here in the middle. That's A-line. Something that is maybe a bodice up top, either a waistline right here on your waist or somewhere around your lower hip area. That's going to be the A-line. So you have a distinctive skirt and bodice division. The final one is sheath. It's going to be shaped like a sheath. Usually right underneath the bust line you're going to have a division belt, but sheath is going to be a lot more flowy, a lot less body shape oriented. Sheath dress is just going to be a lot looser fabric, a lot less defined on your figure. Alright, so let's jump into the third part of this video, which is gown suggestion types for your body shape. The first body shape is going to be pear-shaped. So if you have a little extra badonkadonk and a slimmer up top, then you're pear-shaped. Pear-shaped or triangle-shaped body dress types are going to be more enhanced necklines, maybe a sweetheart neckline or even a deep V neckline. If you have a higher waistline, something that gives you more of that hourglass figure, some ruching, detailed embellishments on the bodice area, and something that flares down at the bottom to give you that shape. So either a A-line with kind of a drop waist, a ball gown, or even something a little higher mermaid trumpet dress. Don't go full down to the knees, y'all, because it's not gonna look good. But something with a lower waistline and more accentuation on the bodice to give more textures of embellishment is going to be better for a pear-shaped body. So if you're a straight line body type with longer extremities, longer arms and legs, then you're apple-shaped. Apple-shaped bodies also look very good with a sweetheart neckline or a deep V neckline and accents and embellishments on the bodice area, as well as a higher natural waistline. That way it's higher, cinching at the waist, and then giving you a flared skirt so that you have that figure. Also with apple-shaped, you want to attempt to elongate your figure. Give yourself a little bit more length and maybe make you look taller, a little bit slimmer, and give you that shape. Avoid the trumpet or the mermaid dresses. It will make your body look disproportional as well as just squeezed into your dress, and it probably won't be flattering. Next body type, number 3, is going to be the hourglass shape. Hourglass shape is going to be shoulders and hips are the same width, and then your waist and midsection are a little bit smaller. Hourglass shape, you have a lot of options to choose from, but you also have a lot of options that aren't going to look good on you. Hourglass shape, you can start with a sweetheart neckline or even a flatter neckline, and you can go with sleeves or sleeveless. Halter tops, V-neck tops will also look good on the upper section, and a cinched waistline or something that's going to define that waistline, maybe some ruching or ruffles or layers of fabric, some beading or lace, something that's going to give texture or tone to the upper part of your body is going to be very flattering. For the lower part of the body, you really can do whatever you'd like to do when it comes to your skirt, because your hourglass shape is going to give that natural hourglass shape. So you can do an A-line. I wouldn't go anything higher than your waistline, and I wouldn't go anything lower than your knees. A sheath dress is probably not going to look very good on an hourglass figure, just because you're, if you got it, flaunt it kind of thing. But your hourglass shape is also going to be susceptible to looking squeezed into your dress, and you're not going to be able to move around as much as you'd like to, and sitting, dancing is going to be difficult. So when you try on your dresses with an hourglass shape, just make sure to sit, stand, move around, do some dance moves, walk up and down the bridal boutique, and just make sure that it looks good from all angles and that you're not going to short yourself on your big day. Number 4 body shape is tall or petite. I know those are technically two, but we're going to put them in the same. So if you're really, really tall or really, really short, that's my next section. So let's start with if you're really, really short. Petite. Petite brides look the best in Mermaid, Trumpet, or a lower A-line dress. This is going to give you more height to your torso, making you look a little taller. If you can go with a sweetheart neckline, something to elongate your neck. Textures work really well on the bodice, but avoid ornate embellishments like big old flowers or something that's going to give you a statement piece in the middle of your body, because that's just going to shrink it even more. Avoid belts and objects that cut your body in half, as that will make you look shorter than you already are. You don't want to flatten your shape as a petite woman. So let's move to tall. Women who are tall, I am technically tall for a woman. I come from a family of very tall women. Work it and own it. Do not let it hold you back from getting that beautiful dress that you want, just because I'm really tall and I should make different choices. And no, get what you want, ladies. If you are tall, work it. Wear heels if you want to. Wear flats if you want to. Just work it. Same for petite women. If you want to not wear heels, don't wear heels. I mean, there's no have to have just because you're tall or you're short. So for tall women, accentuate that long neck with a drastic, dramatic neckline. Something that, maybe sweetheart neckline, something with maybe cap sleeves that really has that boat neck feel. Something that's going to elongate that neck and show off your figure. If you want to not seem as tall, use pretty much the opposite of what I told the petite ladies. Use belts and embellishments around your midsection to shorten your body and frame. That's also what a short dress does for tall ladies, is it makes you look shorter. Same with if you wear capris any other day, it's going to make you look shorter as a tall woman. Do make sure as a tall woman, it's hard to add fabric with alterations rather than take fabric away, as in a petite person would have to do. So do make sure that your sleeves, if you're doing long sleeves, are long enough. Make sure that your dress is long enough so you won't run into any issues when you go to your alterations having to create fabric that is not there. So, like some of my other examples earlier with tall women, you can go with ruching embellishments, maybe a drop waist to give more flow to the bottom half, and just think about the divisions of your body when you're shopping for this dress. So my final section is plus size. Ladies, I talked about it a little bit earlier in this episode about sizing. Be your own kind of beautiful, okay? You are beautiful. Each and every one of you are beautiful, inside and out. So do not be disheartened if you get put up in the plus sizes. Plus size in the bridal world is between size 12 and size 14. That makes me want to vomit. So there are a few additional charges when they go into plus sizes, and I think that's just the bridal world trying to do their own thing, you know what I mean? But if you're a plus size bride, something in maybe the more size 18 to 25, If you are up there, these tips are for you. Do not be ashamed of looking beautiful, okay? You are beautiful. So, some tips for you plus size women that have a little bit more to shake it than those other women. Empire waist, something that is a little higher. Embellishments on your bodice area with long flowy skirts. Something that's not going to add definition to your hips and your little thicker areas if you don't want to add embellishments there. Allow your dress to shape your body with the embellishments. It should be tailored higher on your waist, giving you a natural waistline, with flowing fabric on the skirt. If you add a curved neckline, that will also add dramatic embellishments, dramatic intrigue to the top half of your body. This also helps if you're a very busty woman and you don't want to go overboard. Because if you're a busty woman, then you don't want to be spilling out the top of your dress. So if you do maybe cap sleeves or a boat neck or something that has some structure to it, you can always get a bra sewed into your bodice area. But for plus size women or women with a little bit more shape, I would really avoid strapless. So avoid strapless dresses. And another thing to avoid is pleating and embellishments on the bottom half or the skirt of your dress. That extra weight and contrast of highlights and shadows in that dress area will actually add weight to the bottom half of your dress. So plus size or more busty women, just try to stay away from strapless and heavy embellishments on your bottom half. Try to keep all the extra embellishments on the top half of your bodice. And if you're going to use dividing lines in your dress, make sure that they are right underneath your bust, if a little bit lower down to your waistline, giving you a natural waistline. Oh, I wanted to mention before we close it down for the day, I forgot to mention, when you go and look at dresses, bring a pair of shoes that is similar in height and weight to the shoes that you're going to be wearing on your wedding day. If you don't know what kind of shoes you're going to be wearing, bring some shoes that are about 1 inch to 2 inches in height, and that will give you a good baseline. Most boutiques also do have sample shoes that you can put on. If you know you want to have 4-inch heels, bring some 4-inch heels with you. If you want to have flip-flops, wear some flip-flops. Chacos, whatever you want to wear, bring them with you. Second, bring your underwear. Bring your bra, bring your suck-em-ups, bring whatever you are going to wear underneath your dress so that you can get a good idea of the way your body is going to be shaped on the day that you actually wear that dress. Do not wear a sports bra, and if you want to wear like tights or leggings or something that is easy to get in and out of, it will make your trying on dresses process a lot smoother, because you're going to be in a room that's shaped pretty much like a closet with another woman, stripping all of your clothes off and then diving into wedding dresses. That's what you're going to be doing. So get comfortable with maybe being half dressed in front of another person if that's not something you're comfortable with, as well as wear the right outfit to streamline the process. Because if you want to try on a bunch of dresses, you have a certain amount of time for your appointment, and it's just better to come prepared. So wear the right attire when you go to streamline the process. Bring your underwear, bring shoes, or at least an idea of how tall your shoes are going to be on that day. Also, if you are kind of getting close to the end of your bridal shopping process, bring some jewelry that you know you want to wear on the day. Bring some, rings and bracelets and any extra little embellishments you want to wear on the big day. That way you can get a good idea about what it all looks like together. Oh, also, and I know this is a lot of alsos, ladies, veils and belts and extra little embellishments that they're going to try to sell you on your dress. is going to make you nauseous. Nauseous about the price tag. So if you can buy it online, or if you can buy it or borrow it or make it, and you're the type of bride who doesn't mind buying, borrowing, or making from a different distributor, just do your research. Do your research, do your due diligence, and make sure that you don't bust your budget. Because those things are really expensive when they come from the bridal boutique. It's just like, you want me to pay what for tulle with a little clip on it to go in my hair? So if you want a veil, if you want a belt, if you want gloves, any of that, know before you go what you do and don't want to have, and don't be scared of trying it on. Just don't throw up when you see the price tag at these bridal boutiques. So I do think that that's it for this video. When it comes to bridal gowns, there's so many things to talk about. So I hope that this wasn't too much information, and I hope I gave you enough information. So I hope this video was helpful on some tips and tricks when you're shopping for your wedding dress. Make sure to check out our guest attire and our groom's attire video. They've got some really great inspirational ideas for how to let your guests know what to wear and what your groom needs to wear, and some fitting and sizing adjustments for your groom. It's his day too, ladies. Make sure he looks fabulous. So until next time, make sure to check out our other videos on wedding planning. Leave in the comment section below any tips and tricks you have for other brides. And I'll see you next time. Jane Corley, Pick Visions, Media Arts and Photography. Like this video if you learned something new, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you can be notified every time a new video is uploaded every week. See you later, guys.